Good afternoon, everybody. Another boring video by the Grizz. Like I said before, everybody and their brother-in-law has done everything about, go to hell bags, get out bags, everyday carry, tents, peeing in the woods, whatever, okay? I was talking to my buddy Jeff Luca a little bit ago, and he's coming up with some things he'd like to see me do down the road, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten fickled too, so I do it whenever the hell I want to do it because I'm retired, and that's what I can do. Don't be jealous, okay? One day your turn will come, okay? I think if you're talking about the Western idea of survival and, conformity and in the environment and getting along and so forth and so on, you got to look at the mountain man, okay? I mean, that was the guy that took on the Native American trappings and learned the different skills and wood skills and medicines and things that the native peoples had going on for them. So I think that's where a lot of you guys could start, is getting into the mountain man or the Eastern Long Hunter or the Revolutionary War or French Indian War type reenactors. Okay, so there you go. There's a nice sketch of one of our ancestors, mostly Scotch, Irish, whatever. Okay, a lot of them married Indians and so forth. This book is called The Book of the Buckskinner. As you may or may not know, at one time I was into mountain man stuff and muzzle loading and whatever. So whenever I get into something, I buy books or I go to people whom I know something about it, and I question and I ask questions, and hopefully I get answers. So Book of the Buckskinner. There's a lot of different things in here about teepees and making your dresses and lean-tos and throwing an axe and making a pipe bag, if that's what you want to do. Here's some pants, so forth. I know you can't see it real well, but anyway, it's called the Book of Buckskinning. Good book. You guys might want to read it. Okay. Also, there used to be a magazine that came out that's called the Black Powder Annual. If you're into the anoraks and things of that nature, well, here's how to make a capote or a capote. These were worn by the French Canadians, French Indians, and Native peoples in the Northwest. Made out of a wool blanket with a hood and very warm. It was a wraparound held together with a sash. Okay, you guys ever want? They have, by the way, Tandy's has patterns for this sort of thing if you ever want to do it. And here's something. I'm cleaning out my storage area, and I'm coming up, all this stuff showing up. Anyway, here's the fire makers. Okay, there's your bow drill, flint and steel using a file. Okay, good stuff. Resources. Also, there was a book out called Mountain Man Sketchbook, and they had these sketchbooks for like the Revolutionary War, French Indian War, and whatever. This is volume 1. Again, different patterns for drawers and things of that nature. Let's see if I can get here. Shirts. Here's sketchbook. Okay, this is volume 1. Thing on making shirts. What else? Lower leggings called botas by the Spanish. There's vests, so forth. Okay, that's volume 1. And then there's a volume 2 right here. I bought all these things back in the late 70s, early 80s. Here's some shelters. Show you how to make a wiki-up frame using leather, or you can use hide, or you can use, nylon or tarp, whatever. Saddles. Here you go, knife sheaths. There you go. See? I've made these when I used to dance and when I used to do mountain man stuff, I have one off to show it to you guys that I made for my big knife. Here's your smoking gear, your tobacco canteen, and your clay pipe, and your tobacco holder. Here are some your strikers and pouch. Good stuff. I mean, you guys who want to get back into the classic mountain man stuff, all the other good things. Here's fleshing and stretching, hides using a stick. canteens with gourds. Here's a St. Louis pouch, different pouches you can make yourselves. So if you guys want to do leather work. I think the volume 2 is probably more beneficial. It has more of the neat stuff you may want to make. Here's a short capote, or capote. Okay. All right. That's another resource booklet you may like. Here's a fur cap. You guys want to look like, you know, look like mountain men or Canadian trappers or whatever. All right. There you go. All right. Okay, that's that. Another thing, magazines or articles you might want to get from different catalogs is this is from Bud BK. It's actually C.H. Cadell or Cadell. Okay. He has a lot of survival stuff in here. You guys might be into wool blankets, granulated honey, pouches, knives, lanterns, whatever. Okay. That's the back end of it. Sleeping bag, some military stuff. Gas masks for you preppers. Good prepping magazine. Okay. All right. And one that I've subscribed to like since 1980, I don't know, 5 or 3. I bought my first kukri from these guys. They're made in India. They're Indian kukris issued to the Gurkhas in the Indian Army. There's Gurkhas in the British Army. There's Gurkhas in the Nepalese Army. Okay. So, they all try to get into the British Army because it pays more and their lifestyle's better, and then India's next, and then Nepal. But anyway, this one is Sportsman's Guide. You can get the regular Sportsman's Guide for hunters and all, and I always get the military survival or surplus one all the time. Like I said, you know, they got ammo in here, they got packs, they got hammocks, you know, so forth. I don't know how well you can see them. But like I said, this is a resource guide, just throwing things out your way, show you what's going on. Other areas that you can buy stuff. Surplus isn't bad. You know, it's made for military, depending on who it is, Italian, German, whatever. It's really not bad. It's made to last. It might be a little heavy, but it's good stuff to start someplace. Okay, it has a bug-out bag or backup bag or whatever. Get to some hardback or paperback magazines. This guy, Creek Stewart, you guys all heard about him, Fat Men in the Woods and whatever. He is an ex-Boy Scout or Eagle Scout. He has his own knife series out now, 3 or 4 different knives, 5 or 6 different knives. This is really a good, I like this. It's called the Bug Out Survival Skills. He's a little extravagant in his look, you know, it's his thing. He teaches you how to sharpen a knife, how to make gigging frogs, you know, a parabolic mirror, fire starter. It's a good book. It's got a lot of good hints in it, a lot of good stuff for you guys who wanted to bug out, you know, preppers and build a last-ditch kit. You know, those of you who were never really in the military or did scouting or, you know, I don't know, come up on a farm or had a dad that was, you know, into this sort of thing. My dad was a policeman, so I learned how to shoot and whatever. Taught me a lot of first aid and stuff, but never the camping stuff. As a matter of fact, he put me in Boy Scouts, and if he could have, he probably would have thrown me in the Marine Corps at like 2 years of age. But there's bow drill stuff. Okay. It's a good book. Build the Perfect Bug Out Survival Skills by Creek Stewart. Nice guy. I think all the women love him because of his long blonde hair. And there's one guy that back in the 80s called Tom Brown. It's not John Brown's brother. It's Tom Brown. Okay. Field Guide to Living with the Earth. Okay. He has a number of books out on survival. There was a big survival trend back in the 80s. That's when I grew up with all this stuff. You know, there was thing as bushcrafting. We had hollow handle Rambo knives and, you know, whatever. So it was called survival. All right. There you go. He has, you know, shelters and spear making and using, you know, making suet and suture and making a bow and arrow and tillering it, the bow and so forth. Okay, it's good. It's good stuff in here. You guys are interested in that stuff, containers, whatever. And last but not least, I bought this book on a whim about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. It's called Hatchet, and it was by a gentleman who wrote a book about a young man who's going to see his father in the northern woods, and before he gets there, his plane crashes. His little like Cessna, whatever. Okay, and his mother, they're divorced, so his mother gave him this hatchet to put on his belt. All right, before he left as a gift. So if the plane crashes, the only thing he's got is the hatchet. All right. Well, it talks about his trials and tribulations from the time he gets into the woods by himself, and how he builds his shelter and gets fire and starts fishing, and eventually gets to the plane which sinks which is in the lake, and comes up with a storm, and all the things that, it's a really good survival situation type read. It's fast, it's short, it's not long. It might be 130 some odd pages. And there's some really good information to glean about a survival situation, what you're going to take in, what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, and some of the problems you may encounter, okay? So this is Bob the Grizz on a Sunday afternoon, nice and chilly. You have a great one. Stay alive, stay warm. God bless you. This is the Grizz.